it's me, Camila Rose. If you haven't seen me, I'm going to be making, this is my video that I'm making for my Bliss Institute channel that's going to be on the full moon in Pisces, the blood moon, the lunar eclipse, possibly full, possibly partial, depending on where you are in the world, because I have some things to say. And I think it's going to be real quick, to be very honest with you. I always say, go check your chart, see what's going on, see how this is impacting you personally. But collectively, we have really been working through some good, deep Pisces stuff. A lot of unconscious work, a lot of inner work, a lot of being able to be honest with ourselves, upfront with ourselves. You've seen a lot of the be delusional, you know, that's a very Piscean thing of just like not dealing with reality, not really seeing what's going on around them. The be delusional has been framed as, you know, a way of trying to believe in yourself so much that you are ignoring perhaps those things that you would normally allow to block you from being able to make progress towards your desires. But, you know, if it's like, what if it would be okay? What if I could do it? What if I can believe in myself? You know, that's the be delusional. But at the same time, this Virgo energy that is happening in opposition to the Pisces energy is very much so asking us to be very realistic. I call it being hyper realistic, taking a look around at what's actually going on around you. How are your relationships going? How are your finances going? How do you feel about your job? How do you feel about your physical health? Especially the health stuff, because that's a big Virgo thing. Like your physical body, it is mutable earth. It is changing the physical form, right? Whereas Saturn kind of like solidifies the physical form. Virgo is like, what would you like to change? What would you like to amend? What needs to change? It is the refinement process. And so that is what Virgo does. It refines where we are with ourselves and with each other. It is the last sign before we head over into Libra season, when we enter into the fall, when we like start heading down into the unconscious. When we start to try to find some sense of balance, it is truly saying, what is it that I need to be carrying over? And what is it I need to be releasing? What goes on my scales before I enter into Libra season? And so going back to that Pisces side of thing, it is a space for us to revision, to take the vision of what we could be, of what we are, of others' visions for us, their expectations for us, and to say, if I were to break that apart, if I were to do the Virgo thing and break it apart into manageable pieces so that I can examine it and assess it and weigh it, or prepare it for being weighed, but I can do the discrimination process of being able to differentiate, to be able to tell the difference between one thing and another thing. Can you tell the difference between jealousy and envy? Can you tell the difference between jealousy and inspiration? What about jealousy and aspiration? Can you pull those things apart? And are they so close together that really they're all leading you towards the same act of self-awareness and inner work? So being able to just kind of go through this process with yourself and really understanding where you are and where you want to be, based on being able to connect to your unconscious and your emotions and your physical form and your ideas and your spirit. So bringing everything together is a really cumulative process here. And so we're seeing this come forth with this Pisces full moon. So here's what I have to say to just kind of close out, because like I said, it's going to be really nice and quick. Allow yourself the space and the time. Don't be afraid. And if you are afraid, feel the fear, do it anyway, of what the truth might be when you go through this refinement process, of what you might find about how you feel, whether you actually are content, whether you're actually happy and joyful, whether there are things that you really need to change. Just allow yourself to be truthful. Even if, you know, maybe you're just truthful for a minute and then you push it to the side. Be truthful, be honest. Because this full moon and the new moon following up after it with Virgo are preparing you for, as the nodes continue to shift, and the nodes will be moving from Pisces to Aquarius and from Virgo to Leo, which means they're coming into contact with the Pluto transiting through Aquarius, causing oppositions to anything showing up in Leo. It's gearing you up for that Pluto conjunction that will be happening with the North Node when it moves into Aquarius, and for the opposition of the South Node when it moves over into Leo. And so you want to tap a little bit into this courage that's been a resounding theme over the past 5 years, about being honest with yourself, about having the courage to know who you are and to step into that truth, to be able to walk in your truth, to be able to then find your gifts and find your talents and bring that back to the collective, to go through the individuation process, to not fear the self, the light, the dark, the gray, and all that exists of you in between, to take all of your different aspects, all of your different parts of who you are unconsciously and consciously, and allow for them to flourish, to get the wisdom that they have to share with you, and then to be able to incorporate that into your life as you move forward. So, happy full moon. It's going to be great. You're going to have a good time. People have been a little stressed and things have been a little wonky, but they've been wonky because they're trying to show us where the wobbles are. They're trying to show us where we need to maybe fine tune. Take that wrench, take the press like we do with the grapes and with the olives, and when we're pressing them so that, we're refining them in order to make virgin olive oil, to make not grape juice, but, wine. It's a refinement process. And so the wobbles, the uncomfortableness, is an attempt to allow us to see where we need to continue to refine ourselves. Happy full moon. Have a great one. You're going to do great. I'll see y'all later. If you would like to have a reading with me, a tarot reading, an astrology reading, a transit report to see how the planets where they currently are will impact you personally, you can get all that at www.theblissinstitute.org. That's it, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Bye.